Peace and blessings. Namaste. To all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and this is a very, very mild Rut Row, okay? And it is for you chosen ones. You ones that are called by the Most High to do a wonderful work here in humanity. I'm going to give you and prepare you with a little bit of warnings, okay, of what's going on in this realm, because it's time for you to clean your robes. Yeah, and we have robes of many colors. Some are purple, some are white, some are gold. Just depending on the level of consciousness that you yourself can reach. And a lot of your ancestors have left you the clues that you need to navigate this realm and to be very, very, very successful. But while we're on this journey, there are some traps that are here that you need to have the ability to navigate, okay? And once you're able to navigate these realms, it will unlock certain areas of the brain as we go along. This is something that I'm working diligently on with the Ascended Master Tahuti. This is something that I'm going to bring into fruition, in this PowerPoint presentation. And once again, it might not be something that you've ever heard of before, but it will make sense when we do it. Now, what are the traps that you want to watch out for? We're getting ready to really expose the false light agenda. And it is a very strong delusion. Okay? And remember, it was said, because they believe not the love of truth, I will send them a strong delusion that they shall believe a lie. First of all, light workers and light warriors, this is not the first time these delusions have come to pass. We do these things over and over again. Every single eon, someone or something or a group of consciousness raises itself up against the essence of God or the Creator, and it always ends the exact same way. These are they who don't understand God. They think they do, but they don't. And these are they that are blaming the Creator for everything that goes wrong in their lives. They don't have the ability to manifest or create because they stay stuck on the opposite side of the pendulum swing. Okay? Pay attention, please. You need to know that when there are negative things that is happening in your life, what you give the most of your energy to is what will continue to manifest in your life. So there are those whose sole mission is to keep you in a state of fear, to keep you in the state of doubt, okay? To keep you frustrated, angry, always pointing out flaws, always pointing fingers. These are they who are not healing. And the energy that they are constantly projecting manifests the reality of their own experiences. Whereas you, chosen one, where things are going negative or what you may perceive as the negative polarity, you are to focus on the positive polarity. And when we do this as a collective, we force the pendulum swing. It's by our actions. It's about our words. But most importantly, it's about our thoughts. You see, as a man thinketh in his heart, you know the saying. Now, we are trees here, all right? And the tree symbolism really deals with our ascension processes, all right? Where we are rooted in and where we extend to the highest light. Okay? Some people may look at this as a form of a Kabbalah tree. Some may say olive tree. Some may say the tree of life versus the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Each person on their journey chose a tree. And some went with the tree of life, and some went with the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But what is more important, rather or not which tree you chose or which path you chose to take, while you are experiencing this realm. Rather, it is the path of faith and undying, unconditional love, undying faith, unwavering faith and consciousness and trust. Or if you chose to take the path of gnosis, which is, knowledge, wisdom, or trying to understand the deeper principles behind this. What's important between these two trees is the fruit that it bears. Okay, and this is how you constantly will know them. Because a good tree cannot bear false fruit or bad fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. Okay? And when we're talking about fruit, we're talking about the fruits of the Spirit. We're talking about our consciousness, how we treat one another, how we treat our neighbors, how we treat this earth, how we connect with our ancestors or with the divine. Okay? So, there was a parable. And I'm going to leave this to you to discern. But when Yeshua was walking this earth, he had come across a tree, a fig tree, and he was very, very hungry. But when he went to eat of the tree, it had not yet bore its fruit, and he cursed the tree. We can look at this as divine timing. Okay? How far has each of you actually grown in your processes? What have you learned in this journey? And how are you able to transmute any energy that comes up against you negative so that you are perfecting and creating this new world? If you stay stuck in the pain of the past, the hurt, the trauma, it's not going to put you in a position to actually heal. When we transmute energy, it is an automatic thing because it is what it is that we are deciding to focus our consciousness on. Many of us have experienced a lot of pain and trauma and everything from childhood. But it's not where you've been, it's where you're going. Some of the soul traps that are here on this earth that will keep you in very stagnant energy are those who cannot get past the pain. Those who can only focus on the negative. These are they that will not be able to manifest because they will not be able to bring in original thought. Pay attention. On a 3D matrix grid system, all thoughts are recycled. You're going to know them because each one of them teaches the exact same thing, recycled from someone else. The reason that this is happening is because they do not have the ability to tap into higher sources of consciousness. They have remained stagnant. They don't take accountability for their own actions. It's easy for them to blame. Once again, they don't know God. They think they do. These will constantly regurgitate one another's thoughts because this is the agenda that is being pushed to draw you into a hive mind mentality where there is no original thought. They operate out of problem solution. Another one of these traps that you must be aware of is the teaching of certain twin flame doctrines. Beware of anyone that is teaching you that you are unable to ascend unless your twin flame ascends too. You need to understand that the divine perfects each and every soul as an individual. Your twin flame can either walk the journey with you or not, but your ascension is on your own. So when behaviors start to become obsessive, possessive, controlling, that should be a giant red flag for you. Run. Okay? Also, some of the soul traps that are also here. Pay attention to those who do not encourage individual thought. Pay attention to those who have the mentality of, if you are not with me, you are against me. That's a lower vibrational frame of mind. In our new age, we are tolerant of other people's walks and journeys because we understand that just like Joseph, wear the coats and the robes of many colors. And each person has their own soul mission to fulfill and a way that they're choosing to do so. Rather it's through a religious system, rather it is still through spiritual system, rather it is through alchemy and understanding the deeper levels of these things. Remember, we still represent the tree. We are the trees. What fruit are you bearing? And that's the thing that you need to be paying attention to the most. There is a mass effort in the spiritual community to push groupthink. And they're pushing groupthink simply by identifying every single negative thing that they're perceiving as negative because, once again, a lot of people don't want to take responsibility for their own journeys and their own growth. Everything that is necessary for you to get out of these cycles, to transmute energy, to bring into a positive timeline has already been given to you. You must tap in and know how to find it. Nobody's keeping you in bondage. You can free yourself. Your ancestors have freed themselves. We are freeing ourselves. Beware of malice, gang stalking, forced opinions, obsessive, controlling, possessive behaviors. Be aware of those who don't like you because you dared to be different. You dared to stand in your sovereignty. You dared to speak your truth. Beware of those who like to ostracize and shame. Do you understand? Look at the tree for what it is. See the fruit. Figure out if it's edible or not. For each realm of consciousness that we are able to master, it unlocks a different level of understanding. And it also unlocks different and varying potentials of brain function. Understand that even when we were in kindergarten, we had to develop conflict resolution and problem-solving skills. These are designed for your soul's evolutionary growth so that you can and will reach that level of sovereign divinity. But as I have stated before, you don't give a lighter and a can of gas to a 3-year-old. When we start to transmute how we think, our world changes. Sidebar, shout out to North Carolina. Our masks mandates have been officially removed. COVID vaccinations are very minimum. But it was the collective efforts of the light warriors and light workers here that transmuted that energy to do that. And we didn't do it in a warlike mentality. We don't have to. Yes, there is going to be a time to fight, but you need to know what it is to fight and how you are fighting, what type of effects that goes out. Beware of those who have a sense of entitlement, that believe that the only abundance or prosperity that you can achieve is material. Abundance and prosperity comes from many, many forms. As a matter of fact, those who operate in the fruits of the spirit and higher level of consciousness always will have the abundance because they are given the ability to generate or create wealth. if you feel entitled that things have to be given to you, you're not really growing, because it's designed this way so that you can unlock your highest potential. Discover hidden talents that you may not even have known to be creative and beautiful. But the false light narrative is only seeking material gain and wealth. And they don't care who they hurt to get it. They don't care whose toes they step on to achieve it. These are they that will never keep it for long. It will be stripped from them and give it to the meek. I dare to even say that this mentality is so absolute corrupt because they don't even understand that the material gain, the material world that they are so focused on is nothing but vibration. And if you understand that it is all vibration, then you will really know how to get the things that you need. You think that's solid? Think again. This world has the appearance of material matter, but it's really vibrational. So therefore, when you vibrate high in the fruits of the Spirit, you're going to naturally attract the things that you need to survive. But these are those who are teaching that you must have these things in order to be successful. It's not true. The highest level of success is the unlocked and freed mind. The helpful and unconditional love spirit. The way that we transmute energy to focus on the opposite polarity of the pendulum swing and force it to where it needs to go. We do this by our actions. Case in point, every sign in Tennessee, in the area that I lived in Clarksville, that kept putting up their signs about masks, I walked in like this. And if I was put out of that place or that business, I didn't cause a fuss. I didn't even curse it. I just didn't frequent it anymore. They didn't get my money. Slowly but surely, as I would walk into some places, and many of them never said anything, you will always see that there are others who are doing the exact same thing. And then there are those who think like you, but were too afraid to take the stance. And when they watch you walk in without your mask on, they take off theirs. Next time you see them, they're maskless too. And then guess what? When they're walking in these places without their masks, somebody else that thought the exact same way that they did but was too afraid to implement it now gets inspired by them, and they take their masks off too. It is our energy. It is our light. It is the way that we fight that makes the difference. Trees bear fruit after its own kind. So if you're always in a state of defiance, your world will represent defiance. You will stay stuck in a negative polarity. However, when you learn how to smile, have joy, and have peace, even in your darkest days, that's the quickest way to transmute anything, because you're no longer focused on the things that are not serving you. You are attracting the things that you need. One light and one force is stronger than the other. Do you understand what I'm saying? I will be doing a very in-depth, detailed study on this for you, Patreons and Unified. And I'll do a smaller one, for others as well, as we see fit, or as I am led to do. You're going to notice changes in your life when you stop focusing on the pain and start focusing on the pleasure. When you stop focusing on the things that you don't have and become very grateful and optimistic on the things that you do. When you are able to know that you are complete and enough within yourself, that you are no longer dependent on someone else, a situation, a place, a thing to bring you peace. You are peace. We are here to perfect your understanding in all manners so that your soul evolves to its highest level of consciousness. You can do this with mental alchemy. Purify the soul and turn it to gold. And you will see that you will have greater access to the Creator because you're harnessing that same spirit that is in your DNA. The false ones, the false light agenda, will soon be very exposed to you. You'll see the fruit. You'll understand the tree. But you were never, ever designed to be in a hive mind mentality. You were always created to expand. And even though our ancestors let beautiful foundations for us, it is our job to build upon those foundations and continue to perfect it. You can't do this if you can't get independent thought or higher levels of consciousness. What you will do is find yourself being in a round robin over and over and over and over again. Teaching the same things over and over and over again. Your creativity stopped. Your manifestations stopped because you're focusing on the wrong things. That's all I'm going to say to you for now. Transmute the energy around you. Know that this material realm is a training ground for you. Know that there are bigger opportunities just waiting for you once you simply learn the lessons. And you'll start to create your reality. You won't see things the same way as others do, because your focus will be that of the highest good. Do you understand? I am Sophie. I love you all.